Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on closing day of the Belmont at the Big A meeting. It is Sunday, the 2nd of November, 2025. Gonna look the stakes races on the program from Aqueduct, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. So, we're right after Breeders' Cup right now, but there's some good racing still coming up ahead, especially the next few weekends at Aqueduct. They really, at the beginning of this month, the weekends, they've really, have stake heavy cards. So join me for that. Stakes heavy card today. We're going to be looking at them races 1, 4, 7, and 9. So let's get to it right now. And always remember to follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. I think you know that already. But let's get to the opener, which is the Turnback the Alarm Handicapper Stakes, very appropriately named. The first race after the alarms go back. Going for a purse of $150,000. Race fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Feel the 5 horses taking a stroll around the main track, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, or a mile and eighth on the main track. Gonna go take the number 3 horse, standout sensation. We're gonna go 3-5-2-1 in the superfecta. 3-5-2-1 super. Top selection of the 3 horse standout sensation. This we're followed by Take Charge Indy. Tom Amos trains. Kendrick Carmouche gets the mount. The horse's most recent appearance came 27th of September at Churchill, mile 16th, an optional 100 claimer, and the horse won by 1/4 lengths. He had a bit of a wide trip that day, but he settled well towards the front of the pack to get somewhat good position. He quickened up a lot and he went away with it, making it 2 starts in a row that he got the job done. I thought that was a very good effort. He's coming here to stakes quality horses, which isn't the worst thing for her. It's not the world's deepest race, and I think she could find a trip to win. She ran 2 back at Saratoga, 20th of July, a mile and the eighth, and optional 75 claimer, and the horse won by 2 1/4 lengths that day. Had a very wide trip, but left to get good position, which she somewhat did. She saved ground around the second turn, but when she got to the front end, she kept going. That was a very good run. Things kind of melted down late, but it was still a very good run. And then slop at Churchill, mile 16th in June, and optional 80. Finished second by 3/4 length. She closed up from nowhere. She got the lead. She just got overtaken late, but she ran her heart out. I think refreshing here, she could get a piece fit. I think the 5 horse here, Central Avenue for Javier Castellano, Michael Stidham going also, was a winner 3 back at Delaware going mile 16th in the slot, but quite impressively in May. Came back for an okay place at Colonial, and then the Twix Stakes. I thought she just wasn't comfortable from the inside that day, but I think getting a wide post draw should see some pace to close up into. I think she's hidden ability that could definitely run wonders here. At 7-2, I'll use her in the pick 5. But to recap my selection for the opener from Aqueduct, it is the Turnback the Alarm Handicap or Stakes. Going to go with a 3 horse standout sensation. Give kudos to the 5 horse Central Avenue 3-5-2-1 Super 3-5 in the multi race. Let's head over to race number 4 now from Aqueduct, which is the 49er Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a $175,000 purse race for 3-year-olds and upwards. 6 horses are going 1,600 meters or a mile in the 49er, a local prep race for the Cigar Mile coming up in about 5-6 weeks' time. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 6 horse Scotland. I'm going to go 6-5-1-2 in the superfecta. 6-5-1-2 super. Top selection 6 horse Scotland. This 5-year gelding by Good Magic here. Belmont trains. Junior Alvarado gets them out. The horse's most recent appearance came the Grade 3 Vosburg at Aqueduct, 7 furlongs on the 27th of September. And the horse was third by 2 lengths that day. And she was just wide that day and just lacked a good turn of foot. The winner had the jump on her. I do think this horse goes up a little bit better with a mile trip. It's going to finally get it today. Should see some pace to close up into. And I think he could really run wonders off that last run. Ran 2 back at in the Forgo at Saratoga, 7 furlongs, 23rd of August. Against some tough competition. He finished second by length behind Brooklyn Dano, who really ran terrifically. This horse was very wide, but was really closing up well late. Not a bad race in the feet there. And then optional 100 Saratoga, 7 furlongs in July. First off the bench, finished third by length. Was a little bit wide, but I've seen worse race for him. He ended off his campaign last year with a very nice victory in the Cherokee Mile at Churchill. 1 mile in early December, won him by 2 1/4 lengths. He was much the best closing up from the back of the pack. Refreshing here are some decent runs against some decent horses this year. I know 5-2 is a crap price, but he could definitely win. I think the 5 horse here, who is Bishop's Bay for Brad Cox and Flavian Cohen also, most recently at Forgo, he just got outclassed by the others, finishing 6 by 4 1/4 lengths. He just didn't get out of the gate so clearly, and that really cost him. His race in the Salvatore Mile, winning by a half a dozen, though, was impressive. He stalked, he got the lead with a 97 bar, that was impressive. And then probably his best race lifetime came locally over the mile on a muddy seal going in the Westchester, winning by a half a length. He beat a good group of horses home with that 103 buyer. He's had a good campaign other than that really subpar race in the Forego, but that was against some very tough horses. Refreshing back to Aqueduct, 7 to 5, no, it's a crap price, but he could definitely win. To recount my selection now for the fourth from Aqueduct, it is the 49er. We're going to take the 6 horse Scotland, give kudos to the 5 horse Bishop's Bay. Or are we 6-5-1-2 Super, 6-5 in the multi race. So we're going to head over to race number 7 now from Aqueduct, the seventh race from Belmont the Big Eight. It's going to be the final time this race is run here at Aqueduct. And when I think of Aqueduct in the fall, I always think of this race in particular. It is the Red Smith Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a $250,000 purse race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses going 2,200 meters or a mile 3/8 here in the Red Smith. Portable rails are out at 18 feet. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 6 horse limited liability, 6145 for me in the superfecta. 6145 super, top selection 6 horse limited liability. The 6-year-old Gelba Kitten's Joy. Shook McGahee trains. Joel Rosario gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently in the Nashville Gold Cup, 2 miles on 16th at Kentucky Downs, and he finished third by 7 lengths. He had a great victory in the previous Nashville Gold Cup, but this year he just didn't do a lot of running. He finished third by 7 lengths, and he just was never into it. It wasn't his day to win. I do think cutting back to a mile 3/8, which you don't see a lot, you don't say a lot, should really suit this horse well. I think he can get back to some winning ways. He ran 2 back in the UN at Monmouth, mile 3/8, 19th of July, where he finished 6 by 4 1/4 lengths. And again, he was just wide, just never really getting into it. A little bit of flat horse there. And then the Elkhorn, he finished second by head. Utah Beach caught this horse. This horse had the lead, looked like he was going to win, but he just couldn't keep the momentum. Again, in the McKnight prior to that at Goldstream with a mile and a half, he finished third by a neck where again he got caught by Dashman and then an all-out finish. He ran this race last year where he lost to Interrogation and a very good running. But I don't think this race is nearly as good as it was last year. I think it came up a little bit too quick after the Breeders' Cup. Also last year and in previous years, it's come up a little bit towards the end of November. Maybe next year when they run this race at Belmont, they can run this race a little bit later in the fall, so you get a better field size. But it's not the world's toughest horse, and I think he can get back to some winning ways. 3-1 will use him. 1 horse Common Defense coming to a longer trip again for Kenny McPeak, and Chris Elliott can win also. Was a winner over the mile and a half at Keelan on the turf course in Lowndes race in October, quite impressively. Won by 1 3/4 lengths. He came from mid-pack going away clear. Prior to that, over the mile 3/8 at Churchill in optional 80, he finished second by 2 lengths, and it was a quick turnaround from his previous race. But he got down the race course well, and then first start over a longer trip at Kentucky Downs over the mile and a half, went by 8 lengths. He was much the best that day. Biggest question with him is he's running his 4th race now in 2 months, all at substantial trips of ground. Will he be a tired horse? That's my biggest question here. But he has run these good buyers. He's definitely improving. Back against stakes quality horses. I'm going to give him a shot on the ticket. But to recount my selections now for the 7th from Aqueduct, the final running locally of the Red Smith Stakes, I'm going to go with the 6-horse limited liability. We're going to give kudos to the 1-horse Common Defense, 6145 Super, 6-1 in the multi race. The 9th event now from Aqueduct. It is the Bold Ruler Stakes. It's a Grade 3 event going for a $175,000 purse race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs in the Bold Ruler. Going to take the 8-horse Damon's Mound as a top selection. We're going to go 8-4-1-5 in the superfecta. 8-4-1-5 super. Top selection 8-horse Damon's Mound. This 5-year-old horse, by Gervin here. Belmont trains. Junior Alvarado gets to mount. Horse's most recent appearance came the Park Sprint at Park. 6.5 runs the 20th of September. And the horse finished 4th by 1 3/4 lengths that day. And he was drifting that day, and he just wasn't comfortable. That was a quite tough spot. And also, you either handle the park surface or you don't. He wasn't handling it that day. I think refreshing here against not the world's toughest quality horses, he's going to be in a better spot to win. He ran 2 back in optional 100 Saratoga, 6 furlongs, 9th of August. Where he finished third by 3 3/4 lengths. The winner really came over clear. This horse was on the drive. He excelled a little bit that day. It definitely improved off some of his races, like the Vanderbilt prior to that. But I still thought, he could have improved more. He ran prior to that in the Vanderbilt Saratoga, 6 furlongs there. We finished 4th by 8 1/4 lengths. Bookham Dano really came home clear. Milliken, Nakatomi, decent horses. This horse just wasn't getting into those Grade 1 quality horses there. And, it just wasn't his day. But he won he had a decent third in the Apocalypse run prior to that, going to win the Sunshine Sprint at Goldstream, playing partially in January off the year plus bench. But I think refreshing here, back to Aqueduct. If he could show form like he did as a 3-year-old, he could definitely win this race by a mile. 9-2. I'm going to give him a shot here. He's also training a little bit better coming to this race than he was going into the race at Parks last time out. But watch out for him here. I think the 4 horse, who is suburb great for Ricardo Santana and Jorge Duarte Quinoso, was a winner last time out in the defense's dash at Laurel of the Six, winning by a length that day from mid pack. He really got the job done. Wasn't a strong buyer home, but it was still a very good run. Ran 2 back in the Mr. Prospector at Monmouth of the Six, where he finished second by length. Again, really gaining ground. If the race was 6.5 furlongs, he probably would have won, but not a bad race in the feed. And then a horrible race last July of 24 in the Vanderbilt, finishing 6 by 12.5 lengths. He just did not show up that day, but he ran terrifically prior to that in an optional 80 locally in June of 2024, winning by 6 lengths, going 6.5, 115.2 for the 6.5 furlongs. He basically won driving away. Prior to that, he won going 6.5 at Saratoga, quite impressively by a head with a 99 bar. So he has speed if he wants to use it, but sometimes he runs these clunkers like he did 2-back, or it's gonna be 3-back. Refreshing here, second off the bench or first off the bench. I'll give him a shot 5-1. Wouldn't surprise me if he runs a good race here. But to recap my selection for the ninth now from Aqueduct, it is Old Ruler. Gonna take the 8-horse here, Damon's Mound, to give kudos to the 4 Subrogate, 8415 Super, 8-4 in the multi race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.